I've told you 1,000 times, sycophantic Chris. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart, Chris, married my best Chris, and the age my cat, Chris, was when I ran him over. The number of conversations I've had with my distant paternal Chris, and the exact time my neurotic maternal Chris walked out. I honestly don't see why it's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, Science Chris, the host will be with you shortly.
Not you.
Sorry, Science Chris.
What's the matter, Colin?
I don't like it. I don't like this. I mean, a show's one thing, but a whole world.
Are you okay, Colin?
I don't like it.
What doesn't Colin like?
Everything, apparently.
Oh, is that all? Ah, you must be so-called Science Chris. I'm Principled Shabby News Chris, but for tonight you can call me Cynical Chris.
What a strange nickname.
Sorry I'm late. Clingy Chris. Science Chris.
That's right.
Career-driven cutthroat Chris. Nice to meet you.
10 seconds, everybody.
Hang on, where's...
Everybody set? Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm outdated, ill-tempered News Chris.
And I'm charismatic sellout Chris. It's the 13th of March 1985 and this is a Channel Chris special event hosted by your national nightly Chris team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chryslerberry, Science Chris and his optimistically named Happiness Chrislective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Chrisphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel Chris, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We'll be in and out the schedule throughout the evening, with our team of roving Chris's standing by up and down the country to report live on whether the device has brought a smile to your faces.
We'll have Chris's from the world of science, politics and entertainment, and of course those all-important results.
So don't move that dial, stick with Channel Chris all evening as we bring you The Night of Smiles.
Okay, that's about 30 seconds back. So anyone seen Big Chris? I want them to be late. This is not Mr. Show yet.
Certainly not.
Well, I certainly hope not. I was promised that he would be here for the big button press.
I'm sure his head.
Sorry. Oh, those fucking stairs. I'm not used to his legs.
Fine. We're going live in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass test of its type. But before then, here he is, everybody. The man himself, Big Chris!
Oi! Couldn't miss the big button push, could I, sycophantic employee Chris?
Right, as always, boss.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Big Chris. But if we might turn to the man behind this experiment, Science Chris, I'm told it's also a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
So, please, walk us through the aims of the Happiness Chrislective and what the Chrisphoria device will do for the country.
Well, it's not too complicated to understand, really. We are all Chris. We know this and we accept it to be true. And thus, despite our various comical differences, on a fundamental level, we are all the same. Our device utilizes this link to tweak our collective emotional frequency to create a joint feeling of elation. And with happier Chris's, there will be, of course, a happier world.
And I'm sure all of this comes at a great expense to the average tax-paying Chris, am I right?
Sorry, predictably disagreeable Chris. I'm just going to quickly jump in here, mate.
Go ahead, Chris.
Obviously, brilliant work. Good stuff. But theoretically, what would happen if someone were to, I don't know, switch around the wires in the relay?
Oh, it wouldn't happen.
How so?
No, Chris alive would be so stupid.
Yeah. Well, let's just pretend one was.
Well, if the safety regulations weren't adhered to and this hypothetical catastrophically moronic Chris would...
Yeah, all right. Well, let's just call him benevolent, but ultimately misguided Chris.
Well, if someone messed with the machine without grasping the fundamental science behind it, any number of disasters might occur. By its nature, the device is connected to every one of us, so we'd all be affected by it.
But how, specifically?
Well, I'm sure that every precaution has been taken. Isn't that right, Science Chris?
Oh, absolutely. There's really nothing to worry about.
But if there were...
Well, it would most likely be fine. So long as we didn't stay in any permutation for too long, or then the fabric of time and space itself might destabilize.
Science, Chris. It's taken years of work, unfathomable amounts of money, and for a device that may or may not make Chris's a little cheerier around the country. Is that right?
Well, we're very confident, needlessly critical Chris.
All right, call me impulsive, Chris, but let's get this show on the road.
But what about union-appointed health, Chris?
Oh, fuck me. No, fuck off. No, we need to do the button push.
Okay, you're the boss, which of course means let's welcome button-pushing Chris.
Not to worry. The suit is the result of a previous button he pushed. It's actually to protect us from him.
Exactly, and besides, if anything did go wrong with the machine, there'd be no point wearing a silly little suit like this.
And you are?
Assistant Science Chris, 24. My favourite Chris's are Origami Chris, Machine Washable Chris, and of course, the Chris who knows what you did last summer.
Okay then, are we ready to go with the experiment?
Absolutely we are. Button pushing Chris has been practicing at the big button all morning.
Alrighty, I guess we should kick it off then.
Yes, fucking yes. Go.
Okay, so let's welcome Countdown Chris!
Okay, folks, here we go. In
5,
4, 3, 2,